Hello children, previous classes we have done H block element. Already two videos are done on the alkali metals, general properties and chemical properties, and today we are going to start the chemical properties, but this chemical means the characteristics of the alkali metals. Generally the general characteristics we will discuss of the compounds of the alkali metals. So what are the main thing we will discuss? Compounds, which compounds we will discuss? This is firstly oxides, hydroxides, halides. So these things we will discuss, and then carbonates, bicarbonates. So which compounds we will discuss? Firstly oxides, hydroxides, halides, carbonates, bicarbonates of alkali metals. So what are their natures, what are their solubilities, all these things we will discuss. First of all, oxides. Generally we know that any metallic oxides are basic in nature. So we can understand, suppose the oxide I am telling about sodium oxide, if it is basic, how can you understand? If it is dissolved in water, it will give you the sodium hydroxide. Along with this, hydrogen gas will be also evolved. So as the sodium hydroxide or this one sodium oxide once reacting with this one only sodium hydroxide, and as the sodium hydroxide will be evolved, always remember this is basic. How can you understand? It will turn blue litmus, red litmus, blue, red litmus, blue. That means the solution which is formed is alkaline in nature and basic in nature. So the oxide is also basic in nature. Similarly, they are very good oxidizing agent also. The Na2O2, sodium peroxide, once it is dissolved in the water, generally it will give you NaOH, and along with this you will see H2O2 will be formed. As H2O will be converted as H2O2, that means what? These peroxides are, these are good oxidizing agent. So they can act as an oxidizing agent also, these oxides and peroxides. So what are their nature? First of all, they are forming the basic oxides, and their nature is basic, and therefore they are forming hydroxides. And these hydroxides are what is their basic strength? They are strong bases. They are strong bases. So what will happen? They are strong bases. How can you understand? As the explanation I am telling. So what are the main means they, how can you understand their strong bases? The proof is, number one, they are very number one is what? Suppose we are telling about any metallic hydroxide, that will be MOH. Okay, so MOH is the metallic hydroxide, and once you are giving this in the aqueous solution, it will give you M plus and OH minus. Now as it is giving OH minus, so it is basic in nature. Now why they are strong base, why they have high tendency to ionize like this way? Because these metals are having very low ionization enthalpy, therefore they are able to give, or they are able to form M plus ion. Okay, so M will release electron to give M plus ion to gain the octet configuration. We know that their ionization enthalpy is low, as they are having only one electron in their outermost shell. So this is their nature, and remember that as they can form M plus easily, therefore they will ionize as M plus and OH minus, therefore they are basic in nature. Like this way we can explain their basic in nature. And hydroxide solubility, if you are discussing, all hydroxides are soluble, highly soluble in water, except lithium hydroxide. Generally lithium hydroxides are not that much soluble, and generally if we give it, they are thermally stable also. All the hydroxides, once it is dissolved in water, and these all hydroxides are thermally stable also, but only the lithium hydroxide, which is not thermally stable that much, generally it will decompose to give you lithium oxide and water. What is the reason behind that? The reason is lithium is a very small atom, and the lithium hydroxide, in this case lithium small size hydroxyl ion is a larger ion, so once they are forming the bond, this bond is not that much strong. Therefore their lattice enthalpy, you can say the lattice enthalpy of this small means compound is not it's not very high, therefore it can decompose readily when we give heat to this substance. Okay, so later on we will discuss it in detail. So now these are the hydroxide and oxide. If you are discussing another thing, how can you prove that this is acidic, this is basic, the hydroxides are basic in nature? You can add any acid, suppose sodium hydroxide, and once it is reacting with the acid, it will give you the salt and water. So which substance once reacting with the acid gives salt and water? Base. So the hydroxides are basic in nature. We can prove like this way also. So these are the oxides and hydroxides we have already discussed. Now the halides, we are going to discuss halides. See, now halides are what? Suppose which are the halides? First of all, formation of halides I am telling. Halides, once the oxides are reacting with the any oxides, M2O, M is the alkali metal I am telling. So M2O once reacting with the halogen acid, that is if it is halogen acid HCl or HBr, whatever you will react, you will see you will get the alkyl halide. Along with this, water will be formed. So this is one of the reaction. Another reaction is what? Hydroxides. Suppose you are having the MOH, that is NaOH also you can take, and you are reacting with the HX. Just now I said you, that time also NaCl plus H2O you will get. So it's not required to see, means required to show again, already I told you. So another reaction is what? Suppose if it is carbonate, M2CO3 or Na2CO3 you can choose, and if it is reacting with any halogen acid, it will give you the alkyl halide. Along with this, carbon dioxide gas and water will be formed. So like this way we can get the alkyl halide. Now the thing is what is their halides we need to understand properly. Okay, what are the main characteristics of the halide? See, we need to understand Fazan's rule to understand their halides characteristics. Fazan's rule. What is this rule? Fazan's rules we are dividing into 4 parts. Okay, first part you need to understand. To understand this means Fazan's rules actually is the polarizing effect. Polarizing or polarization effect. Okay, polarization is what actually? By the Fazan's rule we can compare whether a substance is covalent or ionic in nature. So what is polarizing power? Polarizing power means if a cation can approaches an anion, then the electron cloud of the anion is attracted towards the cation. Okay, and hence the electron clouds gets distorted. So this is actually this effect, that the electron clouds gets distorted by the cation, is called what? Polarization. And the power of the cation to polarize the anion is called the polarizing power. Understood? So what this anion which get polarized, it is this tendency is called its polarizability. Is it clear? Now Fazan's rules we will discuss regarding this polarization only, means how cation charge or anion charge or any charge on the ions only, they depend depending on this charge we can decide that whether a bond is covalent or an ionic bond. So see, first of all, number 1, first of all we will discuss size of the cation. Smaller is the size of the cation, smaller the cation, their polarizing power will be high. Okay, polarizing power will be high, and hence the covalent character will be large. So if I am discussing now lithium chloride, sodium chloride, then what are the alkali metal? Potassium chloride, halide is same. See, rubidium chloride, if you are discussing all this, cesium chloride, if you are having all this chloride, and if you are comparing their covalent character, then most of the covalent molecule will be lithium chloride. Why? Because the lithium size is smallest size, it can polarize the halide, and halide is same in this case, therefore it can polarize the chloride and maximum, therefore their covalent character will be also maximum. So lithium chloride will be covalent, more covalent in nature than the sodium chloride. So this is the covalent, what is the characteristics of this bond? This bond will be maximum, it will show the maximum covalent character. Okay, as the size of the cation is small. So what he will say, smaller the cation, higher is the polarizability, and higher is the polarizing, not polarizability, higher is the polarizing power of this cation, higher is the covalent character. Secondly, see anion size. What will be the size of the anion? If the anion size is greater, then their polarizability also will be larger, therefore the covalent character also will be larger. That means if I am telling about, suppose I am telling all the alkali metal is lithium only, but I have taken what? Fluoride, then lithium chloride, then lithium bromide, then lithium iodide. All the alkali metal is now same, but we have changed the halogen atom. Then higher the size of the lithium bromide, and after that, this one will be lithium iodide. Okay, lithium iodide. You can understand, higher the size of the ion, higher is their polarizability, therefore higher is the covalent character. So this time, which one will show highest covalent character? Lithium iodide will show highest covalent character. So this is the second one. And third one rule is what? So I said you, smaller the cation, smaller is their polarizing power. It's not polarizability, you need to write polarizing power. Higher is the size of the anion, higher is their polarizability, and in both the cases higher is the covalent character. And next is what? Charge on the ion. Any ion, suppose it is having Na plus Cl minus, I am telling about. Okay? And then magnesium 2 plus Cl2. We know that MgCl2 is another compound. MgCl2, Cl is having only -1 charge, and I am giving whole twice. Next one is what? Suppose aluminium charge is L3 plus Cl minus whole thrice. These three compounds I am telling about. Now I said you, higher the charge on the ions, means here the charge on the halides are same, but only the sodium, magnesium, aluminium, I have changed this all cation. Now it's not the alkali metal, but I am telling what? I am telling that the charge on the ion increases. We can see higher the charge on the ions, okay, higher is their polarizing power. Always remember that greater the charge on the cation, greater is its polarizing power. So what you will say? Greater the charge, or you can say this point as charge on the ion. So if the halide is same, then greater the charge on the cation, higher is their polarizing power. So higher is the covalent character. So which one is more covalent in this case? Aluminium chloride is more covalent in this case. Is it clear? So like this way we can explain all this. Similarly, see, if you can understand, if we have suppose sodium, another one I am discussing, sodium sulfate, we have taken sodium Na3PO4. So we can understand that Na3PO4 NaCl you can take. So in this case what? Sodium metal is same, but the anions I am telling about, I am taking the anions which are having the more charges on the anion. So higher the charge on the anion, or higher the size, larger the size of the anion, larger is their covalent character, because they will be their polarizability also will be larger. Therefore, which one will be most covalent in this case? Na3PO4 will be most covalent. Am I clear? So, and same thing I have discussed, but in this case, charges. If the charges of the cation increases, their polarizing power increases, therefore covalent character increases. Similarly, higher is the size of the anion, similarly their polarizability also will be larger, therefore covalent character also increases. So this is third factor, and the most important factor, another factor is also there. One question I am discussing, you will understand. Copper chloride and NaCl. We know that NaCl and copper chloride will be more covalent than sodium chloride. So although if you see copper and sodium, their size almost same, okay, and they have the same charge here, copper plus and sodium plus. So we can understand charge is same, size is same. Then what is there? How can they be the more covalent? The thing is what, any cation having the 18 electrons in their outermost shell, okay, and this cation having 8 electrons in their outermost shell. In this two, which one will be more covalent? It is told that the cation which is having 18 electrons in their outermost shell will be more covalent in nature. So like this way, these four rules are actually together we say as the Fazan's rule, which tells us about the polarizing power and the polarizability, and on the basis of that the covalent character of a bond we can explain. So these things I have discussed, because all generally the halides we are discussing. So polarizing power we need to understand their covalent character. Now higher the covalent character, higher is the solubility in the organic solvent, remember that, okay, and if the substance is ionic in nature, generally they are dissolved in the water. So their solubility also we can understand on the basis of the polarizability or their covalent character. Another thing you need to understand their so many character, that is lattice enthalpy and hydration enthalpy. I said you what, one is lattice enthalpy. So what is lattice enthalpy or energy? It is also one kind of energy, isn't it? So lattice enthalpy is what, when 1 mole of substances, they are together, they are tightly held, how much energy we need to give to that lattice or to that association, to that 1 mole of substance, to get from 1 mole of solid substance, if you are getting 1 mole of ions, gaseous ion, okay, 1 mole of gaseous ion. So gaseous ions, okay, then how much energy you need to give to this 1 mole solid is called the lattice enthalpy, okay. So higher the lattice enthalpy, lesser is the solubility in water. Always remember that, higher the lattice enthalpy, higher is the melting point, okay, higher is the melting point. Higher lattice enthalpy means melting point will be larger, and generally hydration enthalpy on the, generally they are not soluble in the waters in few cases. We will discuss now. Before understanding the solubility, we need to understand the hydration enthalpy too. So what is hydration enthalpy? See, hydration enthalpy means the energy, hydration enthalpy. Hydration enthalpy means once the aqueous, I said you, gaseous ion, suppose the M plus is your alkali metal ion which is in the gaseous state, if it is dissolved in the water or combined with water to give you the ion in the aqueous solution, then the energy which is released is called the hydration enthalpy generally, okay. So higher is the, generally hydration enthalpy depends upon, if the cation is smaller, then it will be hydrated or more readily, and larger amount of energy will be released. Therefore their hydration enthalpy will be larger. This type of small cation are mainly hydrated, forming the hydrated salts. This is the reason. And generally one thing I need to tell you, that is, if you are comparing the hydration enthalpy and lattice enthalpy of a substance, and you are seeing that hydration enthalpy is more than the lattice enthalpy, what is the meaning of this? Suppose 1 mole solid, you are giving 5 kilojoule energy to convert it into 1 mole gas ion, okay, and 1 mole of gas ions, once it is combined with the water, it has released suppose 6 kilojoule energy. So if you see, as a whole it has already released 1 kilojoule energy. That means ultimately it has released some energy. That means it will be more stable. So this substance will be dissolved in water. What we have seen then, hydration enthalpy more than the lattice enthalpy means it is soluble in water. Okay, if the hydration enthalpy is more than the lattice enthalpy, then the substance is soluble in water. Hydration means we are telling about water. So always remember this thing. This thing I need to discuss with you all. Now hydration enthalpy, as we are discussing, you can see I'm telling you this means two important points. So if the alkali metal is same, okay, in that case, suppose you are having the I'm comparing these two factor. One is if the alkali metal is same, that means you are having sodium fluoride, sodium chloride, sodium bromide. Okay, then what you will see, that the melting point decreases. Means the melting point will be highest for the sodium fluoride, then sodium chloride, then sodium bromide, then sodium iodide. Melting point will decrease like this way. Why? Because their lattice enthalpy will be maximum for sodium fluoride. Why? Always remember, the fluoride ion and the sodium ion, if we are seeing, their size are almost similar. Therefore once they are forming the bond, this bond is much stronger, they are thermally more stable. But if we are going for the NaI, sodium and iodine size difference is larger, therefore the bond is not that much strong. We say it is much weaker than the sodium fluoride bond. Therefore their lattice enthalpy also will be lesser, their melting point also will be less. Is it clear? Similarly, the halides, if the halides are same. Now in this case metals are same we have taken, but if the halides are same. Suppose I am telling the I have taken lithium chloride, then sodium chloride, then potassium chloride. Okay, like this way. If you see, now for the lithium chloride, what will happen? Lithium chloride, the melting point of the lithium halides are lower, that we will discuss now. But if you are going for the sodium chloride, then potassium chloride, then rubidium chloride, you will see the melting point will decrease. Sodium, potassium, then rubidium, then cesium chloride, rubidium chloride, cesium chloride. So if we are discussing about this all chlorides, you will see the melting point of sodium chloride will be maximum. The reason is same. Sodium chloride, if you are seeing, their bond are much stronger as their size similarity, because of their size similar in size, and other are their differences in their atomic size makes the bond weaker, therefore their thermal stability is less, therefore melting point is also lesser in this case. But why the lithium chloride? If we are thinking, lithium chloride will have the low melting point. What is the reason behind that? This is probably lithium chloride is actually covalent in character. Lithium chloride, this is covalent. I said you that lithium atom is very small, their covalent character, polarizing power is high, therefore this bond is covalent in nature. I said you. So lithium chloride is covalent and sodium chloride is ionic in nature. So ionic substances will always show the higher melting point. These are all ionic, so they are showing always higher melting point than the covalent molecule. Therefore lithium chloride probably will show the lower melting point. So this question comes, although these trends are followed like this way, why the lithium chloride is are not following this trend? So actually remember that always the first element shows some exceptional property. Why? Because their size is very small, their ionization enthalpy highest, and their electronegativity is maximum, they don't have any d orbital. So these are the main reason that always first element shows some different characteristics of some exceptional properties. Okay, now I am discussing what carbonate and bicarbonate, their stability. Regarding their stability I will tell you what is the carbonate and bicarbonate. See, if we are telling that lithium carbonate, why lithium carbonate is not stable as like as Na2CO3 or CS2CO3. If you are seeing that what to say, suppose Na2CO3. Na2CO3 are quite stable. Sodium and carbonate size, 2 sodium and 1 carbonate, they are forming the bonds and they are forming the stable bond. Their thermal stability is much larger than the lithium carbonate. Why? Because the lithium size is very small, carbonate radical is larger in size, therefore the bond which is formed, I said you, dissimilar size means bond is weaker. So this bond is weaker, so if you are giving heat to this substance, it will become Li2O readily, gives carbon dioxide gas. But if you are giving energy to this one, cesium carbonate, sodium carbonate especially, so you will see this one will not decompose like this way. Okay, so another thing is what means which one is thermally stable, then comparatively sodium carbonate, cesium carbonate, their stability will be more than this lithium carbonate. Okay, so as the size of the cation increases from sodium to cesium, the lattice energy generally of the corresponding oxides decreases, we know that. Okay, therefore the stability of the carbonate increases from sodium carbonate to cesium carbonate. If you go, because sodium carbonate then this one, their stability increases, means their stability means their lattice enthalpy will, or the thermal stability will increase, because their size similarities, they are quite similar in size, therefore their bonds are stronger. Another thing is bicarbonate. Suppose same thing, bicarbonates are what, suppose you are having another, here I am showing for the bicarbonates what will be this one. Suppose you are having the any alkali metal, you can choose, bicarbonate will be MHCO3. If you are giving heat, generally they are giving what, M2CO3, carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so alkali metals, once bicarbonates are giving the carbonates if you are giving heat, and the thermal stability of the carbonate already I discussed. So these are the main compounds which we have discussed of the alkali metals. Okay, now next video I will tell you what are the anomalous behavior of the lithium. And anomalous behavior, lithium has shown lot of anomalous behavior, but what was the main reason I said you? The reason is, I said you 4 reasons already. One is high ionization enthalpy. Second, I said you they are having very small in size, smallest in size in the group. And another thing is electronegativity is highest. Another is no d orbital they have, isn't it? So they are showing lot of anomalous behavior. What are the anomalous behavior? So anomalous behavior are like this. See, first of all, lithium, only the lithium which can react with the nitrogen and give you the lithium nitride. Lithium nitride.